You could buy a house in cash and still afford a truck, but the motorhome at number 1 isn't expensive for the size or the leather. It's expensive because there's a Bugatti hiding inside the floor, worth more than the house. These are the 13 most expensive motorhomes on Earth, and number 1 will change how you see a camper van forever. Subscribe. We cover cars every week. Number 13. Ford Travel Realm FS 605, $1,600,000. We're kicking things off at number 13 with the Ford Travel Realm FS 605, and even the cheapest entry on this list is enough to make most people's jaws drop. Ford Travel has been building motorhomes out of Texas since the 1960s, and over those decades, they've earned a reputation as one of the most quietly respected names in the industry. The kind of brand-serious RV people talk about with real reverence. The Realm is their flagship, and it shows in every detail. This thing is 45 feet long and built like a luxury apartment on wheels, not some box with a bed thrown in the back. Rich leather furniture fills the living area. Marble countertops line the kitchen. A full kitchen with stone counters and premium appliances would make any home chef jealous, and honestly, it would make plenty of actual homeowners jealous too. The bedroom has a king bed, plus a hidden sleeping space tucked into the couch for guests, so you're never actually short on room even with company along for the ride. There's a spacious bathroom with a jetted tub, because apparently roughing it now means a jacuzzi at the end of a long travel day. Automatic levelers and awnings extend the living space even further once you're parked, essentially doubling your usable footprint the second you settle in for the night. At $1.6 million, the Realm FS 605 is proof that even the entry point into this world of ultra-luxury motorhomes still costs more than most houses in America. And we've got 12 more to go, each one bigger, bolder, and considerably more expensive than the last. Number 12. Newmar King Air, $1,700,000. Coming in at number 12, we've got the Newmar King Air. And for 2026, Newmar didn't just update this coach. They completely reimagined it from the ground up. 3 extra inches of headroom, a brand new Artisan Series exterior customization program, 2 new interior packages designed to give buyers even more control over how their coach looks and feels. This is Newmar's crown jewel, the flagship they've spent over 5 decades refining, and it shows in every single detail you touch. Under the hood, you've got a 605 horsepower Cummins X 15 diesel engine sitting on a Spartan K 3-tag axle chassis. That's serious power for a home that happens to have wheels, more than enough to haul this thing up steep mountain grades without breaking a sweat. Inside, Italian leather furniture and heated theater seating with a built-in massage function greet you the moment you step through the door. The kind of touch you'd expect in a first-class airline cabin, not a recreational vehicle. The primary bedroom has a king-size memory foam mattress that owners consistently describe as better than the bed they have at home. 3 individual air conditioning units keep every zone at the perfect temperature, no matter the season, and an electric radiant heating system keeps the tile floors warm no matter where you're parked, even if you wake up somewhere below freezing. There's a residential-size Viking refrigerator in the kitchen, a wine fridge sitting right next to it, and 4 televisions scattered throughout, including a 65-inch 4K Samsung in the living room for movie nights on the road. The King Air starts at $1.7 million, and fully loaded configurations push past $1.85 million once you start adding options. It is, without question, one of the most accessible entry points into flagship-level motorhome luxury. And that word accessible is doing a lot of heavy lifting here because we are just getting started. Quick side note, most car problems come from small things people overlook. I put together a simple longevity guide based on everything I've learned, and it walks you through exactly what to watch for. It's linked in the description below. Number 11. Newell Coach P50, $1,900,000. At number 11, we've got something genuinely different. The Newell Coach P50, and this one breaks the mold in a big way compared to almost everything else on this list. Here's the thing about Newell. Almost every other luxury motorhome builder starts with someone else's chassis, usually a Prevost bus platform, and builds a custom interior on top of it. Newell refuses to do that. Newell designs and engineers its own chassis completely from the ground up, in-house, from scratch, every single time. That's a massive undertaking for a company of their size, and it's exactly why Newell owners talk about long-term reliability like it's a religion, because in a lot of ways, it is one. Every single coach is built to order, with a floor plan designed specifically for the buyer's needs and lifestyle, and Newell's design team works directly with each customer from the very first sketch to the final delivery. Inside, you get rich hardwood floors running throughout the entire coach, quartz countertops in the kitchen and bathrooms, and a dinette that seats 6 comfortably around a durable Cambria tabletop built to survive years of daily use. There's a full kitchen with a 2-burner induction stove, a convection oven, a garbage disposal, and yes, even a dishwasher, appliances you genuinely wouldn't expect to find crammed into a vehicle. 4 powerful roof air conditioners keep things cool in any climate, from desert heat to humid summer nights, and large 4K TVs are placed in both the front living area and the rear bedroom for entertainment wherever you happen to be sitting. At $1.9 million, the Newell P50 proves that sometimes the most impressive engineering isn't the flashiest. It's the stuff you never even think about, because it just quietly works, mile after mile, year after year. Number 10, Prevost H345 VIP, $2 million. Number 10 brings us to a name that shows up constantly in the world of ultra-luxury travel, whether you realize it or not. The Prevost H345 VIP. If you've ever seen a musician on tour or a professional sports team traveling between cities, there's a very good chance they were riding in something built on this exact chassis, even if the outside looked completely different. Prevost makes the platform, and independent builders take that platform and turn it into whatever their client wants, which is exactly why you'll see this same underlying bus show up under wildly different names throughout the rest of this list. This particular VIP configuration is the standard entertainer's coach, the one that shows up outside stadiums and concert arenas around the country, night after night, tour after tour. It offers panoramic windows for natural light throughout the cabin, a genuinely luxurious interior with custom finishes chosen by the client, and enough storage underneath to carry a small tour's worth of gear, wardrobe, and equipment. At around $2 million, the H345 VIP isn't the most extravagant entry on this list. Not by a long shot, but it might be the most influential. It's the foundation that half the coaches further down this countdown are actually built on top of. Number 9, Volkner Performance S, Standard Edition, $2,100,000. At number 9, we introduce a name you're going to hear a lot more of before this video is over. Volkner Mobile, a German manufacturer that has spent the better part of the last decade redefining what too much even means for a motorhome, one increasingly outrageous build at a time. This is the Standard Performance S, the base version before Volkner starts adding the truly ridiculous options that made this brand famous. Even in its simplest form, this coach is a showcase of serious engineering. It rides on a Volvo or Mercedes-Benz chassis, depending on configuration, with air suspension for a smooth, yacht-like ride that soaks up highway imperfections almost completely. Inside, you'll find hand-laid Macassar wood veneers covering nearly every surface, a fully custom Burmester sound system tuned specifically for the cabin, and an L-shaped kitchen with premium appliances ready for anything from a quick coffee to a full dinner party. There's a slide-out wall that expands the living space dramatically once you're parked, essentially transforming a narrow hallway into a proper living room, plus a 2,000-watt solar array and an 8-kilowatt generator so you can go fully off-grid for extended stretches without ever plugging into shore power. At $2.1 million, this is Volkner at its most restrained. Keep that word in mind, restrained, because this company is going to show up 3 more times on this list, and each time, things get a whole lot less restrained. Number 8. Anderson Mobile Estates, Hollywood's celebrity fleet, starting at $2,300,000. Number 8 isn't one single coach, it's an entire company that has quietly built some of the most famous motorhomes on earth, one client at a time, for decades. Anderson Mobile Estates, based out of Texas, caters exclusively to Hollywood royalty and the ultra-wealthy, and their client list reads like a red carpet. Jennifer Lopez, Vin Diesel, Jamie Foxx, Brad Pitt, Jim Carrey, Denzel Washington, and Harrison Ford have all had coaches built by this same small, obsessively detail-oriented team. Jennifer Lopez's motorhome, nicknamed the Mammoth Motorhome because of its sheer footprint, includes a master suite, a spacious living area, and a full kitchen designed to make life on a film set feel like life at home, even after a 14-hour shooting day. Vin Diesel's custom trailer is tailored to his exact specifications right down to the layout of the furniture, and it functions as his genuine home, away from home, during shoots that can stretch on for months at a time. Every Anderson build starts around $2.3 million, and every single one is completely bespoke, right down to the wood species, the leather grade, and even the placement of the light switches. Anderson deliberately limits how many builds they take on each year, specifically so they can maintain the obsessive attention to detail their clients expect and, frankly, demand at this price point. And speaking of Anderson, wait until you hear what's coming up in just a couple minutes, because their most famous creation of all is still ahead of us on this list. Number 7. Loki Coach Prevost Motorhome, $2,500,000. At number 7, we've got the Loki Coach Prevost Motorhome, and this one made headlines when content creator Eric Van Conover toured it and called it, without hesitation, the most expensive, most futuristic motorhome in the world. Van Conover actually lived and slept in this coach trackside during a Formula One event in Montreal, treating it as his home base for an entire race weekend. And by the time his tour was over, it was easy to understand why. According to him, Prevost-based motorhomes like this one typically belong to A-list artists, top-tier musicians, F1 racers, and high-level entrepreneurs who can customize every single inch to their exact taste, down to the stitching on the seats and the grain of the wood on the cabinets. This particular build features a cockpit with white leather seats, and each individual seat costs $20,000 on its own, a number that sounds almost impossible until you actually sit in one and feel just how much craftsmanship went into it. A retractable 65-inch television with a built-in soundbar drops down from the cockpit area at the touch of a button, turning the front of the coach into a private theater in seconds. The lounge beyond it has notably high ceilings and extends a full 2 feet wider on each side than a standard coach, which Van Conover pointed out is actually wider than some New York City apartments, a comparison that says everything you need to know about the scale of this thing. There's a convertible sofa bed for extra guests, privacy glass on the windows for total seclusion from the outside world, and ambient light bars running throughout the interior that shift tone depending on the time of day, mimicking natural sunlight from morning gold to evening blue. Every surface you touch, from the cabinetry to the countertops, was chosen specifically for this build, meaning no two Loki coaches on the road are ever quite the same. At $2.5 million, the Loki coach is proof that in this world, your motorhome can genuinely be nicer and more expensive per square foot than your actual house back home, and in this case, considerably more photogenic too. Number 6. The Heat Anderson Mobile Estates, $2,500,000. Number 6 is arguably the single most famous motorhome ever built, and it brings us right back to Anderson Mobile Estates. This is the Heat, originally commissioned by Will Smith in the early 2000s after he saw an earlier prototype from the company and immediately knew he wanted his own version, fully customized to his liking down to the smallest detail. What resulted became the largest, tallest, and widest celebrity trailer ever made at the time, a genuine landmark in the history of custom motorhomes that basically created an entire market segment overnight. Smith used it as his home base during the filming of Ali, Men in Black 3, and the pursuit of happiness, essentially living inside this coach for months on end across multiple productions, treating it less like a movie trailer and more like an actual second home. The Heat runs on an eye-watering 22 wheels and stretches 55 feet long, offering 1,200 square feet of living space spread across 2 full stories, which is roughly the size of a small suburban home and considerably bigger than plenty of city apartments. Here's the part that still blows people's minds every single time they hear it. The second floor doesn't exist until you activate it. 8 hydraulic pistons lift the entire roof 42 inches, revealing an entire upstairs level with a 30-person screening room and a massive 100-inch drop-down screen, transforming the coach from a trailer into an actual venue capable of hosting a full-blown movie premiere on wheels. Downstairs, you'll find 2 separate lounges, a full kitchen with a $200,000 build-out alone, a sauna shower spanning the full width of the trailer, and 14 televisions scattered throughout, so there's genuinely never a dead zone without a screen nearby, no matter which room you happen to wander into. All the interior doors are fully automatic, something designer Ron Anderson affectionately nicknamed the Star Trek doors because of the futuristic way they slide open and closed with a satisfying hiss. Smith no longer owns the Heat. It's returned to Anderson Mobile Estates and is now available to rent at their 7744 Ranch Resort in Austin, Texas, for a reported $9,000 a night, which somehow still feels like a bargain given everything packed inside its walls. At $2.5 million to build, it remains one of the most legendary motorhomes ever created, and honestly, one of the most legendary vehicles of any kind, period, celebrity-owned or not. All right, we are officially halfway through this list, and things are about to get seriously insane. Before we jump into the top 5, if this video has your jaw on the floor already, do me a favor, hit that like button, drop a comment telling me which one of these you'd actually want to own, and make sure you're subscribed with that notification bell turned on so you never miss what's coming next. Now, let's get into the top 5. Number 5. Marathon Coach. Coach number 1375. $2,990,000. Number 5 brings us to Marathon Coach, the largest luxury bus converter in the world, operating out of Oregon and building on the Prevost H345 platform continuously since 1983, longer than almost any other name on this list has even existed. Marathon's builds are favored by professional motorsports teams, entertainers, and top executives who need a mobile office that doesn't feel remotely like an office, and honestly, doesn't feel like anything you'd typically associate with an RV at all. Every coach is built entirely to order, with the layout designed around the buyer's exact needs, whether that means extra bedrooms, a dedicated workspace, or a layout built specifically around entertaining clients on the road between meetings in different cities. Their flagship build, Coach number 1375, was unveiled in 2024 on the newly redesigned Prevost H345 chassis and carries a price tag of just under $3 million, making it one of the most expensive fully custom conversions available anywhere in the world, and arguably the most refined thing Marathon has ever put on the road. Inside, you'll find Fisher-Paykel appliances throughout the kitchen, heated stone tile flooring underfoot in every room, two-tone laminated cabinetry lining every wall, and commercial-grade Wi-Fi backed up by dual satellite receivers, because when you're running a business from the road, a dropped signal simply isn't an option you can afford, whether you're closing a deal or just trying to stream the game. Marathon's in-house team of engineers, craftsmen, and designers works together on every single build, and they'll even collaborate with clients remotely if a face-to-face meeting isn't practical, which tells you just how far this level of customization actually extends. At $2.99 million, This coach represents the absolute peak of what a fully custom Prevost conversion can become. And it's easy to see why it's considered the gold standard by so many people in this industry, from casual RV enthusiasts all the way up to the professional teams who trust it week after week. Number 4, Marchimobile Element Palazzo Superior, $3,600,000. At number 4, we've got a motorhome that genuinely looks like it drove straight out of a science fiction film, and honestly, that comparison barely does it justice once you actually see it parked next to anything else on the road. The Marchimobile Element Palazzo Superior, built by an Austrian manufacturer that draws design inspiration from race cars, yachts, and aircraft, all at the exact same time, blending 3 completely different worlds of design into one impossible-looking vehicle. This thing is 45 feet long, 8 feet wide, and its interior section can actually expand out to a staggering 16 feet wide once parked, creating over 730 square feet of usable living space, more room than plenty of actual apartments people live in full-time. The front cockpit looks like something pulled straight out of an aviation cockpit, complete with a fishbowl-style windshield and an adjustable sun protection system that darkens the glass at the touch of a single button, letting you dial in exactly how much light comes through depending on the time of day. But the signature feature, the one that separates this coach from literally everything else on the road, is the rooftop. An automatic lift system raises a fully walled deck straight out of the roof structure, revealing a private outdoor lounge complete with a sky canopy, heated flooring, and its own dedicated sound system for entertaining under the stars, essentially giving you a rooftop nightclub that folds away when you're done with it. Inside, separate temperature zones for every room, a wine cabinet, a built-in ice maker, a king bed, and a spa-style rainfall shower with light therapy round out an experience that feels less like camping and more like checking into a 5-star resort that just happens to be able to drive down the highway. The stability and insulation ratings on this coach reportedly exceed those of any other production motorhome currently on the market, which explains the thick carbon fiber walls and the almost eerie quiet inside the cabin, even at highway speeds. For 2026, this coach retails at $3.6 million, making it the most expensive production motorhome you can currently order off a build sheet. No celebrity connections, custom relationships, or waiting list required, just a very large check. Number 3, Zenith Motorhome, $5 million. Number 3 takes us into territory most people don't even know exists. The Zenith Motorhome, built in 2020 specifically to service the racing team of Formula One legend Mario Andretti, a project so extreme it barely qualifies as a motorhome in the traditional sense anymore, and starts to feel more like a mobile command center. This is a 16-meter semi-trailer weighing over 36 tons, with a fold-out second floor that expands the total interior space to an almost unbelievable 115 square meters, which is genuinely larger than a lot of full-size apartments back home, and considerably larger than anything else on this entire list up to this point. Inside, you'll find 8 separate sleeping berths for the traveling team, 3 full bathrooms so nobody's ever waiting in line after a long race day spent trackside, and 2 separate home theaters for winding down between grueling weekends on the circuit, one for the team and one reserved for guests and sponsors. The lighting system even mimics a starry night sky across the ceiling, turning the interior into something that feels closer to a planetarium than a trailer, especially at night when the rest of the lights are dimmed low. Everything about this build was designed around function first, appearance second, which makes sense given who it was actually built for, a racing operation that lives on the road for months at a time, chasing championships across different continents. At $5 million, the Zenith proves that when a Formula One legend needs a mobile headquarters powerful enough to support an entire racing operation, motorhome stops being an accurate description entirely, and something closer to mobile compound takes over instead, one built to keep an entire team functioning at the highest level, no matter where the calendar sends them next. Number 2, Vulcaner Performance S with LaFerrari, approximately $5,800,000. We told you Vulcaner would be back, and here they are again at number 2, proving once and for all that this company has zero interest in slowing down and every interest in topping themselves year after year. This is the Performance S from the 2022 Dusseldorf Caravan Salon, and this particular build combines an exterior sports car garage with a full rooftop deck and a completely custom interior spec'd entirely to the owner's personal taste, right down to the smallest detail most people would never even think to ask for. Instead of Vulcaner's standard Burmester sound system, this owner specs their own custom audio setup from scratch, with speakers running throughout the entire coach and full 5.1 surround sound built into the living area alone, an upgrade most people would never dream of requesting for a vehicle. LED smart TVs sit in both the living room and bedroom for entertainment wherever you happen to settle down for the evening. A substantial 20 kilowatt-hour lithium battery bank charged by rooftop solar panels keeps every single system running smoothly, even miles from the nearest outlet, meaning this coach can genuinely disappear off-grid for days without losing a single amenity. The rooftop deck alone measures over 135 square feet and comfortably seats 6 to 8 people, complete with its own solar array, satellite dish, and dual air conditioning system just for that outdoor space. But the real headline, the thing that actually justifies this price tag, sits in the hydraulic garage between the front and rear axles. A LaFerrari, one of just 500 ever built, an already legendary hypercar in its own right, tucked away underneath a motorhome like it's an afterthought instead of a multi-million-dollar car in its own right. With everything included, this coach carried a final price of roughly 5.3 million euros, somewhere around $5.8 million at current exchange rates, making it the single most expensive motorhome anyone covered that entire year, and a genuine milestone even by Vulcaner's already ridiculous standards, one that had the entire industry wondering just how much further they could possibly push things. Number 1. Vulcaner Performance S with Bugatti Chiron, $7,700,000. And here we are. Number 1. The most expensive motorhome in the entire world. The Vulcaner Performance S, unveiled in 2021 at the Dusseldorf Caravan Salon, complete with a genuine Bugatti Chiron stowed inside its hydraulic garage, like it's the most natural thing in the world, as if hiding a $3 million hypercar under your living room floor is simply what everyone does. Let's go back to that opening line. A 4-bedroom house, no mortgage, plus a truck to match. This coach alone costs more than that combination, and it's still not even the most expensive part of the package. The Bugatti Chiron packed inside makes up roughly $3 million of the total price on its own, with 1,480 horsepower sitting quietly underneath the floor of a motorhome that itself only produces 460 horsepower, meaning the cargo is over 3 times more powerful than the vehicle actually carrying it down the highway. The garage is a hydraulic platform that slides smoothly out from beneath the coach, no tie-downs required whatsoever, and can just as easily hold e-bikes or motorcycles when the Bugatti isn't along for the ride, doubling as an outdoor terrace for dining whenever the car is parked elsewhere. Inside, hand-laid Macassar ebony veneer wraps nearly every visible surface. 30 years worth of aged wood selected specifically for this one build, paired with polished Korean flooring and a custom Burmester sound system that alone costs $355,000, more than most people's entire homes are worth. There's a full kitchen, a rear master suite designed as a private retreat, completely separate from the rest of the coach, and a pass-through bathroom that converts into a private ensuite once the space is closed off for the night, giving the owners total privacy, even with guests aboard. The builder himself has said it best. This is the kind of motorhome that takes 2 genuinely unusual people to happen. One person crazy enough to build it, and one person crazy enough to actually pay for it. With everything included, the total package comes to $7.7 million, officially making this the most expensive motorhome ever built, a record it has held for years now without a single serious challenger stepping up to take the crown. One coach, one hypercar, one number that genuinely doesn't feel real until you say it out loud. $7.7 million for something with wheels that you park at a campground right next to somebody else's $40,000 travel trailer. So there you have it. The 13 most expensive motorhomes in the world in 2026. From the $1.6 million for-travel realm all the way up to the $7.7 million Volkner Performance S with a Bugatti Chiron hiding inside it. Here's what gets me about a list like this. It's never really about the size or the horsepower or even the celebrity names attached to some of these builds. What these coaches actually represent is the same instinct that built every mansion, every yacht, every private jet in history. The idea that home shouldn't have to stay in one place. Whether it's Newell hand-building a chassis from scratch, Anderson Mobile Estates turning a movie trailer into a Hollywood legend, or Volkner deciding a motorhome simply needed its own supercar garage, every single one of these builds is somebody's answer to the same question. How far can we actually take this? If you enjoyed this one, do me a favor, hit that like button, drop a comment below, and let me know which motorhome on this list you'd actually want to live in. I read every single comment, and I genuinely want to know your pick. If you want more content like this every week, make sure you're subscribed and that notification bell is turned on, because trust me, we've got a lot more coming, and it only gets crazier from here. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.